Hey everyone, give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna teach you what is fine-tuning, the types of fine-tuning, and how you can do fine-tuning very simple in easy steps. Without any further ado, let's get started. So what is fine-tuning, right? So you have this LLM model, like your open source LLM model, and this model has been trained with specific data set or certain data set, right? And if you try to ask questions about you or about your organization, which the model has not been trained, it will say that, hello, I don't have enough data, or I don't have data, what you're requesting for. Of course, if it has internet access, if it has API access or tool calling access, then it might fetch the data from the internet and provide you. But let's say we're really talking about this local model where it does not have any access, where it is running in a sandbox environment, right? So in that case, what we can do is we can actually fine tune it, right? So training the trained model with specific data set or with new data set is basically called fine tuning. It's basically training an existing model with a new data set or a specific data set is called fine tuning. This process is called fine tuning. Hope this is clear. And now, how can we do this fine-tuning? Is it like expensive process? Is it like a very different or difficult? You have to be techie? The answer is no. It is very simple and straightforward. There is an amazing, popular, famous open source framework which we can utilize to do this fine-tuning. It's called Unsloth. And you can go there, directly download it. We're going to see that in a bit. But there are mainly three types of fine-tuning. It's called a parameter efficient fine-tuning. There are mainly three types. The first one is full fine-tuning. So in this type, we're really talking about the full-fledged fine-tuning of a model. And then the other two types, the first one is called LoRA, which is low rank adaptation, which is a 16-bit type of fine-tuning. So in this case, what happens is the model is already preset, and with that existing model, so you can think it like the model has been already freezed with a data set, and on that freezed data model, with that model, the freezed data model or the freezed LLM model, you're going to basically add new parameters, and that's called low rank adoption. It's a 16-bit process, and this is mainly introduced for minimal hardware resources. And there is another type which is called QLoRA, which is a quantized low rank adaptation process, and this is 4-bit, which is more cheaper, right? So think in this way that there are mainly two types, LoRA, QLoRA, and QLoRA is the preferred one because it uses minimum resources. With that said, let's get into how to do it. First and foremost, so let's try to download this open source framework, and you can search unsloth.ai and you get like a documentation. Pick up this URL if you're using Mac, it's that. If you're using Windows, there is a below URL or the shell command script. Paste it in your terminal. Ta-da! It basically downloads the Unsloth Studio. It's going to take a couple of seconds or minutes depending on how good your machine is. Once the installation is done, it's going to open the Unsloth Studio in a web browser like this. And you have a couple of options, right? So when you click on new chat, you can also select the model which are on the device. If you have any open source models which you have downloaded on your device, it can be automatically recognized also from llama and also from LM Studio. It automatically recognizes, it also recommends a list. Then you have a model hub, and within the model hub, you can basically go and also see the models on your device, and you can also go and download them from the repository. It's similar to Hugging Face. And then the most important thing here comes is train, right? On this train tab, if you click on the train tab, you can see different methods. And then you can see a dataset option where you can add the dataset on which you would like to train your model, and then a parameter configuration option if you can change. And then the data recipe. So let's start with the data recipe. So what is data recipe, right? So here you can see there are a couple of options. The first one is instruction from answer, PDF document QA, OCR document extraction, text to Python, text to SQL, and all. So this basically prepares the data which is required for the model to understand. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to take a PDF document from Google Sustainability Report for 2026, and it's basically 117 pages, and if I have to read it manually, It takes time. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this document and convert the document in which the model can understand. This is called a chunking process. So we're going to chunk the data in the form of Q&A, so that the model understands there's going to be a system role, there's going to be an answer. So basically the recipes tab within the Unsloth is going to help us to extract the PDF data and chunk the data in the form where the model understands it. So this is the first step. Yeah, you can also preview the data. You can see that how the text has been chunked in here, and also the source file, which is from the PDF. And once this is done, what we're going to do is we're going to configure the model, which can be used for this chunking process. So the first one was browsing the document, and the second one was configuring a model, so that now the model is going to be used for this chunking. Yeah, so again, we have not started the training yet. This is just setting up the data, right? And here we're going to just say for time being 50 records, and we will do the run. And this is going to take a couple of seconds to minutes, depending on the load of the data and also the configuration of your machine. Yes, once it is done, you can save it, and then you can also look at it in the terminal as well. And now we're going to use this data for fine-tuning our model. Now we're going to go to the train tab, and here we're going to select Qwen 3, which is 0.6 billion parameter, very small model. And then underneath the data set, you're going to select the sustainability report chunk data which we have done, and if you want to configure parameters, and then the method here is going to be a QLoRA like we discussed, and that is it. Click on start training, and this is where it starts preparing the model and the data set and all the underlying configuration which is needed for it to start initializing and fine-tuning. And here you can see that it goes into multiple steps. So here there are total 30 steps it needs to be executed. Right now we are on step 3, and this is going to take a couple of seconds to minutes, again depending on the configuration of your machine. But the interesting thing is here you can see there are multiple things. One is the training loss, the other one is the gradient norm, and the below one is the learning rate. So what is training loss and what is learning rate? So training loss is something like a mistake counter. So you need to see that when the model is training on the data set which you have provided, it is counting the mistakes. So basically the curve is usually starts high and then it basically goes down. So basically you see a slope curve, and that is a good indication for a good training loss curve. It's like mistakes counter, and you want to have the mistakes as minimal as possible. It starts with high usually, and it goes back to 0, or it goes down to minimal number, and that is how you reduce the mistakes. That's a training loss. And then you have a learning rate. So what is learning rate? Learning rate is nothing but the rate at which these mistakes are going to be fixed, right? So usually it is very high and slowly it becomes very sensitive. So if I have to give you a very simple example, that when you want to reach to a destination, when you're going on a highway, you don't really you go with a very high speed, you don't really focus much on what's happening on the nearby surroundings because you're on the highway. But when you're going closer to your destination, then you be very careful, you be very sensible, and you be very so that is what basically the learning rate is. And then once the model is done, you can basically click on compare, and then you can see the results side by side with a base model and with a fine-tuned model. So in this case, I'm going to give it a prompt saying that give me environmental sustainability report for 2026 for Google. And then you can also compare the results between base model and fine-tuned model. Again, one important information which I like to give here is we have only taken the sample data as 50 rows, and it was a very minimal training set, and the fine-tuning process was also real quick. So in this case, it might not provide the expected results we want. But if you try to follow the whole process as it is with a very good configuration and a huge sampling data set for your training purposes, hopefully it works with the QLoRA or LoRA parameter efficient method which we followed. So in this case, you can already see that it has given the information, but I 100% know that the fine-tuned results are also not actuals from the training data set, because we've just taken 50 results. So once this is done, let's say that you are happy with this model, you can just export it to GGUF or a llama.cpp format. It's basically a format which is used to read the model. So for example, you have a model. To execute a model, you need to have llama.cpp application, right? So you're going to export that in that format so that an application can read this model. So you can select the quantization levels, whichever level you want, and then you just export the model. In this case, it's around 300 MB size. I think it's as simple as that, right? So we've tried to cover what is fine-tuning, and once you have this, you can also go there and you can also chat with it. It's also listed there in the chat section as well, and you can start a model quick in there. So we've seen what is fine-tuning. We've seen the types of parameter efficient fine-tuning, like full fine-tuning, LoRA, QLoRA, and we've also seen the training rate and the learning rate, the training loss as well, and we've seen how we can do that using Unsloth Studio. Hope this was helpful. If you think this video was really helpful to you, I would highly recommend and suggest you to subscribe, because I'm really putting myself out there to do these kinds of videos more and more in coming days. Your subscription or you subscribing and liking this video would really encourage me to do more content on this field. Thank you so much. Have a good day.